What if you could read minds? Not in a supernatural way, but by truly understanding the hidden messages in people's expressions, gestures, and tone of voice. That's exactly what Henrik Fexeus teaches in The Art of Reading Minds. This book breaks down the science and subtlety behind nonverbal communication, revealing how much we miss when we only listen to words. The silent conversation we often miss. Picture communication as an iceberg. The words we use are just the tip above the water, what's easy to see and hear. But beneath the surface lies a massive block of nonverbal communication that often goes unnoticed. Fexeus shows that gestures, posture, facial expressions, and even tiny movements carry most of the message. For instance, when someone says they're fine but their eyes avoid yours and they cross their arms, that fine probably means the opposite. The book emphasizes how crucial it is to learn this hidden language if you want to truly connect with others. Imagine a situation at a party where someone is smiling politely but constantly glancing at the door. Their words might be friendly, but their body is screaming, "I want to leave." Understanding this helps you read between the lines and respond in a way that's more in tune with what's really happening. Observing with precision. Becoming a human lie detector. Reading minds, according to Fexeus, is less about knowing and more about noticing. Think of yourself as a detective piecing together clues. You're not just listening to what someone says, but watching how they say it, how they move, and what their face does. For example, when someone's telling you a story and they're rubbing their neck, looking away and fidgeting with their hands, those are classic signs of discomfort or dishonesty. It's like trying to read a complex novel where the most important parts aren't written in words. Instead, they're hidden in the pauses, the twitches, and the shifts in body language. Fexeus argues that by training your eye to catch these signals, you can almost predict what someone will say or do next. Start by focusing on small things, like how people's expressions change when they're interrupted, or how they sit when they're truly interested, versus when they're bored. Body language, a rich source of information. Most of us already know that crossing arms can indicate defensiveness and that a genuine smile reaches the eyes. But Fexeus goes much deeper. He explains that body language works like a symphony, with different instruments playing together. A single gesture might mean nothing on its own, but when combined with other cues, it tells a clear story. For example, imagine a colleague nodding in agreement while simultaneously leaning back and tapping their foot. Those gestures might contradict the nod, signaling that they're only pretending to agree or are actually anxious about what's being discussed. Body language isn't just about big movements either. Small gestures, like scratching an eyebrow or tightening the lips, can reveal a lot about what's really going on inside someone's mind. Think of it like learning a new language at first. You catch only the obvious words. But as you get better, you start understanding the nuances and hidden meanings. Micro-expressions, the flash of hidden emotions. Micro-expressions are one of the most fascinating parts of human behavior. These are ultra-quick facial expressions that reveal our true emotions, even if we're trying to hide them. They last for just a fraction of a second but speak volumes. Fexeus compares them to tiny leaks in a dam. No matter how much someone tries to control their outward appearance, these micro-expressions give away what they're really feeling. For instance, if someone's telling you they're excited about a project, but you catch a brief flicker of disgust on their face, that's a micro-expression, betraying their true feelings. It's almost like catching someone in a truthful glitch. The beauty of micro-expressions is that they're universal regardless of culture or background. A flash of anger or sadness looks the same on every face. It's similar to reading hidden Easter eggs in a movie blink, and you might miss it, but once you know how to spot them, you see the deeper layers. Mirroring, the natural connection technique. Mirroring is something we all do subconsciously. When you're in sync with someone, you might find yourself adopting their posture, mimicking their gestures, or even using similar phrases. Fexeus shows how you can use this tendency deliberately to build rapport. For example, if you're in a job interview, subtly matching the interviewer's body language can create a sense of familiarity and trust. It's like tuning into the same frequency. By matching someone's gestures or tone, you're saying, "I get you." Just imagine sitting with a friend and, without thinking, you both lean in at the same time, laugh at the same rhythm, or nod together. That's mirroring at work. When done consciously but gently, it helps people feel more connected to you. Think of it as being in a dance with someone. You move in sync, creating harmony without even needing to talk about it. The unspoken clues in voice and tone. You can learn a lot from what people say, but how they say it can be even more revealing. Fexeus dives into how the tone, pace, and pitch of someone's voice can provide insight into their emotional state. If someone's voice suddenly becomes higher pitched when discussing a particular topic, they might be stressed or anxious about it. Similarly, a confident and steady tone usually signals authority and self-assuredness. Imagine a scene in a courtroom. A witness might give a calm, clear answer, but as the questioning gets more intense, their voice starts wavering, and they speak faster. Even if their words don't change, the shift in tone reveals that they're feeling pressured. Fexeus teaches you to pick up on these shifts in everyday conversations, to understand when someone is nervous, unsure, or holding something back. It's like being able to read a song's emotion, even without understanding the lyrics. You feel the intensity just from the way it's sung. Context and culture. The pitfalls of overgeneralization. One size does not fit all when it comes to nonverbal communication. Fexeus is clear that you have to factor in cultural differences and specific contexts. For example, while eye contact might be a sign of confidence in one culture, it could be considered disrespectful in another. The key is to always adjust your interpretations based on where you are and who you're dealing with. Think of it like navigating different dialects within the same language. The words might be similar, but the meaning can change dramatically depending on where you are. Fexeus encourages you to remain flexible and not jump to conclusions based on a single cue. Using these skills with integrity. While it might be tempting to use these techniques to gain an advantage, like persuading someone in a negotiation, Fexeus emphasizes that the goal is better understanding and connection. This is about deepening your relationships, not manipulating others for personal gain. It's like having a powerful tool and choosing to use it wisely. For example, knowing that someone is uncomfortable doesn't mean you should press them for more information. Instead, you can steer the conversation in a direction that makes them feel more at ease. Fexeus insists that empathy should always be at the heart of your intentions. Practice makes perfect, the reality of mind reading. Let's be real. Mastering these skills takes time and effort. Fexeus doesn't sugarcoat it. There's a learning curve. It's similar to developing any complex skill, like playing an instrument. At first, you're clumsy and miss a lot, but with practice, you start to see patterns and pick up on details naturally. He suggests starting small. Observe people in everyday settings, practice reading their body language, and see how well your interpretations match up with their behavior. Over time, you'll get better at spotting those quick micro-expressions or detecting subtle changes in tone. Wrapping it up, unlocking a new level of interaction. In the end, the art of reading minds equips you with a new lens for seeing the world. You'll no longer take things at face value, but instead tune into the undercurrents of every interaction. It's like having a backstage pass to people's emotions and intentions, letting you navigate social situations with a clearer, more insightful perspective. Whether you're in a business meeting, a social event, or just chatting with friends, these insights help you understand what's really going on beyond just the words being spoken. Thanks for tuning in.